Before I moved to Warner Robins, there's a few things that I wish I would have known that I just didn't have the opportunity, right? When you move somewhere, you don't know about the work environment, you don't know where to work, you don't know where to live, you don't even know the restaurants going on unless you do a little Google search. But at the end of the day, does that really give you enough information to actually move somewhere? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna go over the 5 things I wish I would have known before moving to Warner Robins, Georgia. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me, my name is Luke Smith. I help people buy, sell, and invest in residential real estate here in the middle Georgia market. And I wanted to come and give you a video on things that I really wish that I would have known before I moved to the area. Because if you don't know me, I actually grew up in Ohio. I was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia, over in Columbus, Georgia, and I met a beautiful lady, okay? She was born and raised in Warner Robins. And here's the deal, when you meet a beautiful woman, you just go. You don't pre-plan, you don't figure out where you're gonna do, where you're gonna live, you're just gonna do it. So as soon as I got out of the Army, I moved to Warner Robins, Georgia, doing a little Google search online. I found a little 1-bedroom apartment that was 707 square feet, and I moved in. Now the community was super nice. There was a saltwater pool, there was a little exercise equipment, and at the end of the day, it was $1,025 per month. I remember when I moved in. Quite a few years ago, it was about 4 years ago when I did that, and here we are today. Now, I am glad that I moved to that apartment community, but if you think about it, in the last 4 years, if I would have used my VA home loan, because I'm a veteran, it's 0% down, and then on top of that, found a new construction home that fit my budget and got the builder to pay my closing cost and moved in essentially at $0. My equity that I have today, if I were to sell that same house, I would have somewhere between $40,000 to $70,000 in my pocket, more than I do today, because I rented for 3 years. When you purchase a home compared to renting, there's so many different things that could go on, but guess what? I didn't have the information needed, so I just rented, okay? And the number one thing, and number one on the list of the things that I wish I would have known, comes down to housing. Because when you hear of Warner Robins, Georgia, the first thing that pops up in your mind is Robins Air Force Base. And you don't even think about the surrounding communities, right? We're just south of Macon. We're actually east of Byron. Bon Air, Kathleen, Perry, south of us, beautiful areas. Because when you search online or go on Zillow or Realtor.com or any of these places and start searching for homes in Warner Robins, you are missing out on so many different opportunities. Bon Air and Kathleen, when it comes down to it, for families, amazing place to live. It's gorgeous. There's so many different communities. There's so many different places for you to golf, country clubs, to swim. It's just amazing. Perry, downtown Perry, so beautiful to walk around. They got food truck Fridays, they got international food festivals. My favorite place is downtown. They got Gotwell's. They have the Swanson House. It's an old house that they took and turned into a restaurant. I was a police officer in Perry for about a year. There's just so many amazing things about Perry. And then where I live in Byron, I'm a short 10-minute drive away from the entire strip on Watson Boulevard where all this stuff's happening in Warner Robins. Yet I live out in the country. I don't have an HOA, I got land, I back up to a peach orchard, it's awesome. But I didn't know those things when moving to Warner Robins. So one of the things that I really wish that I would have known is the housing opportunities. Because I rented an apartment complexes for about 3 years before I moved into my home. Which at the end of the day, it's a good and a bad thing. In my situation that I was in, I really wish that I would have bought and then would have had a roommate, and then I would have split the rent with them while stacking equity in my home. But number one, I didn't know how to do that at the time. And number two, I just thought when you move to a new area, you're supposed to rent. But the thing is, if you can leverage knowledge of other people like myself, give you insider information and buy the proper house, really what you should do if you're wanting to invest in real estate, purchase a home that you know is going to appreciate in value. Do it on a VA home loan if you're a veteran, as low of a payment that you can possibly have with your down payment. FHA is as low as 3.5% down. Stack that equity over the next couple of years, sell, take that equity to actually put it into a down payment of the home that you truly want. Because at the end of the day, when you move somewhere, it might not be the perfect home, but guess what? You can leverage that money and put it into a home where it can increase in value and you actually get paid to live there. That is good debt. Bad debt was what I did and just gave that landlord money. And the most that I ever got back, I think was like a $500 deposit, but I literally paid people every single month and I got nothing in return. Next on the list, number 2, I really wish I would have known more about the career opportunities because I just got out of the Army, I did special operations, I have all these skills, yet I didn't know where to put it. So I ended up being a car salesman. And there's nothing wrong with being in car sales. I learned so much when it came down to it. But at the end of the day, if I would have known that Warner Robins Air Force Base has both civilian jobs, right, that's non-Air Force, and they have government jobs. So you have really two sides of the spectrum. You have contracting work, and then you have government employee GS scale work. And if I would have known those two options, career progression would have been amazing. Now I am a realtor, I run a team now, and I'm really glad that I went this direction, but it would have saved a lot of time if I were to pursue a career that actually fulfilled the skill sets that I have from the military. Now me personally, I probably would have went on usajobs.gov. I would have went on Fiverr, Fiverr.com, found somebody that specializes in resumes, give them all of my past experience, find the job code on usajobs.gov of some of the careers that I was looking for, maybe pick 3, 4, 5, and then have that person on Fiverr create me those 3 to 5 resumes that align with that job series on usajobs.gov, and I could have landed a government position, have amazing healthcare right off the bat, had an awesome work environment with awesome promotion potential, and they can send you to college for free. There's so many different programs on the Air Force Base where they actually pay for your college degree. My wife, it was called Palace of Court, they even paid for her bachelor's $0 out of her pocket, nothing, to go to college and work while making money to go to school for free. There's so many different opportunities, it's unbelievable, and that's one of the things that I really wish I would have known before moving here. Number 3 on the list, gyms. Now, depending on the location in which you move in our area, there are going to be different gyms available, and it's completely up to you on how you like to work out, whether it's Zumba versus Orange Theory, CrossFit, or you just like going to the gym to lift. There's so many different gyms. Now, some of the nicest gyms that we have in the entire area, and I'm not just saying some, the nicest, are located on Robins Air Force Base. So if you do have a job on base, pack your bag before work, pack it for after work, go to the gym there because they have 2 amazing gyms, okay? They have tracks, they have tennis courts, pickleball courts, golf, everything, okay? You can run, you can lift, you can go, everything, okay? But if you're off base, depending on where you live, I really wish I would have known, because at the end of the day, I have had 5 different gym memberships before actually landing at the gym where I like to call home now. Tim's Total Fitness over in Byron, amazing. Old school bodybuilder type gym. Everybody knows each other by first name, awesome equipment. I love it, it's quiet. You just throw your headphones in and you work out, okay? Not gonna put down any other gyms because if you need a pool, right, like an indoor swimming pool, you go to Max Fitness, right, located right in Warner Robins. If you want that big gym environment with, Max Fitness has tanning beds as well, but Crunch Fitness for $10 a month, you really can't beat it. They have a huge gymnasium, plenty of cardio equipment, every piece of equipment that you could really ever want. It's just a different type of atmosphere. And there's so many different gyms in between, but depending on location, the reason I put number 3 for gyms is just I had 5 different gym memberships and I really wish I would have just found this one from the beginning. So in the comments below, if you are moving to the local area and you want some gym recommendations, drop it below and I'll hook you up. Number 4 on my list is kind of weird, but I think you'll appreciate it. It's a Facebook group called Robins2Go, Robins-2-Go. And there's 54,000 members as I record this video in that group. Now, people post anything from they're selling something to recommendations for different things and everything between. And if you don't live in the area and you join that Facebook page, you will learn so much. You'll learn what's going on in the community, different job opportunities, different events, anything from looking for the best dog park in the area to who's going to watch your children. It's a place that you can't talk negatively about any businesses and stuff like that, but you are allowed to give honest feedback about what's going on in the community and what you can actually do So whether or not you are looking for a job, looking for nighttime entertainment, or looking for somebody or some museum to go to for you to have a birthday party at, everything's gonna be in Robins To Go. And also, if you're in business or your career has something to do with networking, you can find a lot of good relationships. Typically you'd find on LinkedIn when it comes down to business. But if you're searching Robins To Go, click that search button and say, for example, you're moving to the local area and you specialize in plumbing. You can search plumbing and find the top companies within the area, add them as a friend, DM them, try to get to know the area a little bit, figure out what type of work that they do and if they need someone on their team. So if you don't have a job here yet and you have a very specific career field, instead of having to dive deep on Indeed.com and do resume after resume after resume, you can just go straight to the source. And I believe that this would have helped me a lot, especially when I didn't know the area, to get to know the area, get to know the people in the area, plug into the community, and have a jump start to my life here in Warner Robins. Last on the list, number 5, is the National Guard / Reserves, because I was in the Army, okay? When you get out of the Army, you just think Army, right? When I finished up my time on active duty, I actually joined the Army Reserves, okay? It was a good experience, but it wasn't the best experience, because my mind, when you get out of special operations, it's go, 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 go all day long. And then you show up to a unit that for me was an hour and 45-minute drive away from my apartment to spend 2 days on a weekend to sit around. Because when I got out of the Army, I switched career paths. I went from 11 Bravo, which is infantry, to intelligence. Now within the intelligence field, you're not allowed to do anything. You really can't talk to anybody, and you're not really allowed to know anybody or anything that's going on until you go to what's called your MOS school. And the thing was with me, with MOS school, is I had to go out to Arizona for months on end to get training. I had to get a top secret clearance and all this stuff in between that just kept slowing down the process, which kept making me more and more unmotivated, because the longer that I waited to go to these schools and the more times that I had to drive all the way up to Atlanta to sit around on the weekend because I wasn't qualified to actually do anything yet, it just depleted everything that I had to want to pursue a career within that field. And that's not to put the Army down, but that's for me to tell you to set realistic expectations. Because if you're previous military or you're looking to get into the military and you work in this area, you can go ahead and join the Air National Guard or the Air Reserves and be at the location in which you drill at. So think about this. You join the National Guard, okay? You get a fat, nice bonus for joining the National Guard. Let's say it's 20 grand. You join the National Guard, you go to basic, or if you have college, you do your officer candidate school, you get MOS, military occupational specialty. I bet the Air Force has a different acronym for it, which is your job series, and you work on Robins Air Force Base for your career, your civilian job. 2 days per month in 2 weeks out of the year, you literally go to the place that you work at. And not only do you have amazing benefits, but you can serve your country and do so many different things in the military. And I really wish, because this is more personal for me, that I would have switched over to the Air Force side, landed a position at Robins for the military side of things. And I think I could have had a way better smooth transition and really got more out of the reserves than I personally did. And also, if you don't know this, when you're in the National Guard or Reserves, you can get what's put on orders, and you can actually work full times at Robins Air Force Base and make some good money when it comes down to it. You get BAH, you get BAS, sometimes you get specialty pay, plus you're getting paid full-time active duty pay. So then there's other benefits that come to it as well when you get put on orders. There's so many different options. If you're curious about this segment, because I know maybe the majority of people that are watching this video right now are like, Luke, why are you talking about the National Guard and Reserves? I'm not even in the military, nor do I have any want at all to join the military. Well, if you actually do, go to the comments below. Book a call with me. I'd love to be able to walk you through it. I've been through it before. I help families all over that move to the local area, get signed up, get with the right people, get plugged into the right network and everything in between. And all the friends that I have and all the people that I've helped buy homes because they're active duty or Air National Guard or Air Reserve, or they're in the reserves but they're on active duty orders. Help them all. And I can get you plugged in, get you in some group chats, get some numbers plugged up, and I'd love to be able to help serve you. Well, hey, that video was a little bit different than what I normally put out, but I wanted to have a personal perspective of what I wish I would have known before moving here. If you have any questions, again, all my information is going to be in the description below. If I can help serve you in any way, just let me know. Book a call with me, get scheduled up on my calendar. Love to be able to meet you, love to talk about you and your situation, and figure out if I can help you get home. Catch you on the next video.